So, Michael Oquaye says this, that we owe, as Ghanaians, we owe our human rights protection to the MPP and not to Nkrumah. I'll delve into that story soon, shortly, but let me just start with this one here. I have done my best. This is a story in the Daily Guide. It's on page 3 of the Daily Guide. I've done my best. This is coming from the president. And it says here, far from what his political opponents and critics think and say of him, President Nana Akufo-Addo is proud of how far he has managed the affairs of the country for the almost 8 years he assumed the reins of governance. Now, whilst he admits that there have been some highs and low points, generally he thinks he has not done badly. Now, it has been, and I quote, the greatest honor of my life to have served as president not once, but twice. And I have done my best, especially in steering the ship of state through the deeply troubled times of the COVID-19 pandemic and its aftermath, was how he put it when he spoke at a luncheon held in honor of senior citizens as part of the events to mark Founders' Day celebration at the presidency yesterday. I believe, and I continue to quote, most of us can see how we are now turning the corner and returning our economy back to normalcy and reviving growth. The growth that made our economy one of the fastest growing economies in the world in years prior to the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. He emphasized. Now, he continues to say, he, therefore, assured of his commitment to do whatever it takes to bring the economy back to normalcy and set it on the path of growth, as witnessed in his first term of office before the COVID-19 pandemic struck and destabilized the economy. The president, however, expressed profound gratitude to Ghanaians for offering him the opportunity to serve as a 2-term president of their country. According to him, it was an honor done by Ghanaians, and he would forever be grateful for the gesture. Now, touching on the 2024 general elections, he gave his word that everything possible would be done to ensure that there is peace before, during, and after the polls. Now, the last major challenge for me is to preside over peaceful and fair elections in December. And that is a commitment that with the help of all Ghanaians, I intend to realize, he said. That, he said, was because of the people of Ghana deserve no less than to be given the best atmosphere in which to choose freely their next president and parliamentarians. Okay? And let me do the final quote here, or one last quote. I intend to ensure that our reputation as the beacon of democracy and stability in Africa and the world is maintained, he noted. All right, so that's what we have from the president. There's more in the story. You can go and continue to read. But Professor Michael Oquaye has this perspective he's coming from. The former Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Oquaye, has stated that Ghanaians owe the human rights they currently enjoy to the efforts of the New Patriotic Party. Now, he claims that during Nkrumah's tenure, there was little regard for the protection of human rights. Professor Oquaye expressed these views at a mentorship program organized by the MPP Council of Elders. Now, the event aimed to educate young patriots in the Dankwa Buzia Dombo tradition as part of the 77th anniversary of the formation of the United Gold Coast Convention. He highlighted that it was the late President Edward Akufo-Addo who introduced a human rights chapter in the 1969 Constitution, which has since been incorporated into subsequent constitutions. Our forebears brought this kind of thing. Under Nkrumah, you could be detained almost indefinitely. Why? First of all, PDA allowed your detention of the 1958 law for 5 years. Now, when you go to 64, he amended it and said that after that, you could be given a renewal for another 5 years, almost indefinite. All right, and so the story goes on, but basically saying that the intervention by the the current president's father at the time to introduce into the Constitution a chapter on human rights was why we find ourselves where we are today. All right, before I ask Larry to comment on this, let me introduce my other guest to you as well. I have joining us on the set this morning, Mr. Sammens. He is the host of Footprints right here on ChannelOne TV. Sammens, good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah.
Yourself?
I'm not bad at all.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Have you been able to rest a little bit after the holiday or during the holiday?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
Why not, please?
No, he's in suit. I'm not. So I have to salute him.
He's the boss.
Yes, please.
All right, so let me start with you, Larry, on this one. So all this back and forth, I mean, I do think that it's important to, when we talk about setting the record straight, it's an important, intervention that needs to be done. But maybe also, are we not overdoing this, or it's just a way of reminding people who were not part of that era? I don't know what you think.
Well, thank you. And then good morning to our viewers. I think that we are wasting too much time on whether we should have founders or founder and giving it, days. Okay, yesterday was for, Sunday.
Yes, Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday was for founders.
Yes.
And then September
21st.
21st will be for founder.
No, it's called Nkrumah Day.
Nkrumah Day.
Yeah.
Okay. I think, was it yesterday or some one of the days? I was thinking of this whole thing again, and I thought that we are wasting too much time. See, elsewhere people have moved on. They are talking about IT. They are talking about science and technology and how they can use that to revolutionize the society and so on. You go to the Arab countries and so on. I mean, they foresee that, listen, oil in no time is going to
run out.
Exactly. Not even run out. It could be there, but then, electric cars and other things have taken over.
Okay.
So what can we do to open up? Saudi Arabia is opening up every now and then, trying to even undo Dubai, the Qatars and all that and so on. Okay? Here we are, still haggling over whether Kwame Nkrumah was alone or, he had other compatriots, that eventually brought about what we have today as Ghana. Whether Kwame Nkrumah was, a dictator or whether or not the UP tradition, the apostles of democracy, and then they brought freedom, human rights and all that and so on. Some of these things are, totally needless. But I can appreciate it that, these are, the children of, those guys. Do you understand? Nanado.
As in like the big six in that
exactly.
era?
Yes. Nanado's father, his uncles, two of his uncles and so on were in there. He can't be president without doing something like this for their recognition. At the point, I think over a few years ago, we were talking about the change of our syllabus to, include the role of Dankwa, Akufo-Addo, Oforiatta, and all that in the scheme of things. Today, we are back here. Since the president assumed office, every 6 months or something, he tries to retell that whole story about the roles that his father, his uncle, and all that played. So we got to where we are today. It's good. If nobody will tell your story for you, you have to lead it and say it eloquently. And he's doing that very well. Perhaps it's the last time he's going to do it. whatever he's doing, like the initial story you read, that listen, I've done my best under the circumstance.
Yeah.
COVID was the most challenging, period in his presidency.
Yeah.
I don't think COVID was.
You don't think so?
No, I mean
I think COVID was pretty harrowing, in terms
I mean,
of what was on his shoulders to have to handle.
how many people did we lose?
No, but you see, again, the challenge is not in what we lost.
Yeah.
The challenge is in making sure that we didn't lose so many people.
Okay.
And I think that for me, kudos to the president. I think that there was a lot that was done during that time.
No, I won't say that he didn't do much. But I mean, to use COVID to define your presidency, for me, no, it doesn't, I don't get it. Because there's so many things that, the president promised to do that he didn't do. The management of the economy. And long before COVID, we've been told that, was it a World Bank guy or something, who, I've forgotten his name immediately, I can't recall his name immediately, who told us that, the economy was completely run down long before COVID came, long before Russia and Ukraine.
You mean the World Bank country director?
Yes, exactly.
Pierre Laporte?
Exactly.
Okay.
Later on, he tried to, maybe whitewash whatever he meant by that. However, I think there's more to life than, using COVID to determine your presidency, and then you marking yourself, 80 or 95 over 100. Okay, he is limiting himself, and I think that we should move away from this. He should give us a comprehensive report rather than the COVID, and then the economy has taken a turn. Meanwhile, when you read Kweku Kwarteng, he's saying something different. When you read Kennedy Japan is also saying something different as far as the economy is concerned.
Yeah.
And you and I are living witnesses
we'll
to the state of the economy.
Yeah.
Okay? So it goes beyond COVID. You don't use COVID because maybe, like we said, we were expecting 100 people to die. If out of that 20 people died, it means that I've done well. By what measure?
Okay. Sammens, let me come to you. Is this much ado about nothing, really? The president shared his opinion as to, who is responsible for founding Ghana. After that,
Really?
there's been a lot. No, as in-
Maybe you need to restate exactly what the president said.
So the president said that the Kwame Nkrumah, he rejects the notion that Kwame Nkrumah is the only founder of Ghana, and that there was a whole, there was an antecedent to Kwame Nkrumah coming into play. But since then, since Nadu spoke, there's been other comments and commentary and so on. And now Professor Michael Oquaye is also saying that we owe our human rights protection.
In the Constitution?
Yes, to the MPP. In the Constitution, yes, to the MPP. Yeah. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Well, it's just
on all
political
of this.
discourse. Michael Oquaye was addressing a political crowd.
Yeah.
So I just don't get the inclusion of NPP because when the thing was done, there was no NPP anyway.
True.
So you could well say, depending on the theme of the discussion, that Edward Akufo-Addo helped promulgate this part of our constitution, which today we are enjoying. It's only a matter of fact. You see, the moment you bring MPP, then you are inviting this degeneration of the discourse. But truth be told, he was addressing a purely MPP crowd. So maybe you can't fault him for that. President says that Kwame Nkrumah is not the sole founder of Ghana. The question is, but is he the sole founder?
No.
So I don't get the whole discussion. I honestly don't get it. You can, if you like, you can fault the president for bringing this issue up at this time. Okay, but why this time? He also thinks that, well, this should be an opportune time for him to reiterate that it was not a sole effort. You understand?
Yeah.
And even without moving into the MPP side or the Dankwabuzia side, right within the CPP, I don't think that CPP people think that it's only Kwame Nkrumah who founded Ghana. Even CPP. There are unsung heroes in the whole action to secure independence within the CPP. Women that have not been named. Women that have not been named. You have the likes of Esibedu Kujo, you've never heard the name before. Asabia Eyisi, you've never heard the name before. They were all CPP people. The first female journalist in Ghana, the first female, I think, female high court judge in Ghana, Ghanaian proper. And I'm talking about, you know, Asabia Eyisi and all these people, CPP people.
Okay.
You understand? The first national propaganda secretary of the CPP in the 40s and in the 50s is this woman, Esibedu Kujo. You've never heard this name. So they led the struggle. You understand? So I'm just saying that we have no business debating a founder, founders at this time of our development. We have more important things to do. To be debating. Agriculture, Olympic Games is going on. And I watch the Olympic Games with religious attention.
Which of them? Islam or Christian?
With religious attention. You know, because, you see, I am looking at opportunity at the world stage, and I don't see Ghana. We are not discussing that. And today, on political platform, and Nkrumah, some people are talking as if Nkrumah is their grandfather. You don't know the man from anywhere.
No, they read about him.
You read. You see, in a more decent society, we will have to relegate this debate to the academic institutions or the research institutions to do a good job and give all of us as a country what the facts are. Then we move on with our lives. Whether Nkrumah founded, did not found, how does it affect our GDP today? Agriculture is in trouble. Health services, challenges. Environment. Sanitation. You know, there are too many things that should take our attention. So I think that enough done and said with this Nkrumah thing. I heard President Mahama saying that when we come, we will change the thing, we will revert to 1st July as a holiday.
Republic Day and all that.
I am asking, and how does that help the growth of our economy? You know, so it's like, if I'm here, I change it. If I'm not there, I criticize it. If I come, then I change it. If the changing is what will make us go forward, change it by all means.
Let's do it.
But the whole debate for me, it's out of place, to be honest. People are just dressing their own egos and making themselves happy. So at the end of the day, what do you say? I have won the debate. Debate, and it's not increasing our GDP. It's not increasing money in the hands of the ordinary citizen. It's not increasing our lot in agriculture. Please.
You know, this whole thing, Sammens, I'm not cutting. It's like the debate about Mandela and South Africa, and then the freedom struggle, okay? Where you had Walter Sisulu, Oliver Tambo, Steve Biko, Prow, and all the others. This Buthelezi also. And then Desmond Tutu. All these guys all contributed towards what South Africa became. Okay. Now, if Mandela is recognized out of that, that doesn't mean that
the others were not significant.
Were not exactly. But I think that, you know, it is the president always trying to, you know, restate this whole story. Watch it. Almost every 6 months, he tries to bring it up. And that, you know, takes the nation back as to whether or not, oh, you are praising your family members, or you are, you know, denigrating Kwame Nkrumah, or you are diminishing his influence, and so on and so on.
But is it not a feeling that in all of this, his family members maybe get lost in the mix? It's like we're not recognizing.
I don't think Kufuor did a lot of job on that. The currencies that we have, you have all of them on the currencies, okay? From 5 cedis, 1 cedi per hour, 20 cedis, all the way to which one? Which one is the highest? 200 Ghana cedis. Exactly, all over. They're on it. And then look at the busts that were erected at various places. Dankwa Circle before then, Sammens didn't have a statue of Dankwa.
But is it about his family or is it about the facts of history?
Sometimes, Samuel, is he...
So, Sammens, I think that the challenge is that it's like history is there. We can see, we've read it, we were taught in school and all of that. But the president seems to feel that it's important to reiterate
the facts of history.
Yeah. But why so?
But why not? If the facts are there, why not?
No, but it's already documented, Samuel.
No, it even makes the point better. If it's already documented, then he's just reiterating what it is.
You know, but you see, as we said, it is the person who is
the messenger.
The messenger.
But doesn't that drag us back into the same conversations?
No, I get that. It does. But I'm just saying that it does not obliterate the facts.
Okay.
The fact there is there.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that why do we as a country think that it's only one person who founded Ghana? I mean, why are we going with that?
Well, I agree with you, but even Christ.
See,
okay.
We need to take it step by step. Factually, we cannot say that it's one person.
No, we can't.
It's not.
No, we
So
can't.
that's a point to be made.
Yeah.
We now can come and say, Ronaldo, at this time that you are bringing this thing, you are shaking the table at the wrong time. We can say that. You understand?
The tea will spill.
And let me just take a minute to explain something.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, I think again, as Ghanaians and young people, we don't contextualize the personality of Nkrumah well.
Yeah.
Okay? They throw the baby away with the water. Okay? So there are three phases of Kwame Nkrumah that we all need to understand. And I use the word phase, P-H-A-S-E-S. Kwame Nkrumah as an activist, which would include all his efforts and the struggles towards independence. Okay? Which struggle and efforts he shares with a lot of people.
Yeah.
So if we talk about the struggle and the effort, you can't single him out.
Okay.
I hope we are all on the same page here.
Yes, true.
Now, prior to 1952. Now, 1952, Nkrumah becomes prime minister, quote and unquote, or what we used to refer to as head of government business. Okay. Now, he was not head of government business with 2 or 3 people. He did it alone as head of government business.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yes.
Until 57, when we got our final independence, then he became the president. So that's the third phase. A lot of the negatives associated with Kwame Nkrumah would happen post 57. Okay?
Yeah.
But in judging the man, we mix everything, which now begins to look like somebody wants to wipe off all the efforts of Kwame Nkrumah. And that's also not fair.
Yeah.
So PDA stands tall, and that's why Michael Oquaye is talking about it. But Nkrumah did not institute PDA in 1952.
No.
You understand?
Yeah.
He did it when he had become president, because he was also faced with threats, and he thought that was the way to protect his, if you like, his presidency.
Yeah.
Wrong as it was, I don't think it's right to judge everything Nkrumah did just based on that portion of his leadership.
Yeah.
Okay? And again, we as a country, we should admit that every president, as bad as we thought at the time they were there, that things were bad, everybody has contributed both positively and negatively.
Yeah. Every one of them.
And negatively. So we can't sit and just determine that, oh, as for this man, he did all the good things. That who did the bad things?
Nkrumah.
We are all here as a result of the sum total of every effort of the leaders gone by till today.
Good or
this
bad.
Is where we are. This is where we are.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
Yeah.
So what should be on the table is food to eat, our agriculture, youth unemployment, creative industry. Where is the global world heading? How can we take... I told you, I was watching the Olympic Games with pain in my heart. Ghana is way bigger than Jamaica.
Yeah.
But you saw Jamaica
Yes.
and what they were doing.
Yes. Yes.
The Olympic Games has 32 disciplines, 32 sporting disciplines. And we didn't even get, I also came here. We didn't get some. We didn't get certificate of participation. And we are not worried.
Yeah, no, we are not.
We are not worried as a country. We are spending the whole week talking about who was a founder, who was not a founder.
Sammens, interestingly, none of the papers talk about the Olympics on the front page. The only spot of the Olympics at the back page, small corner on the Daily Guide, and this is Ambassador Kwaku weeps for Ghana sports, and he's making reference to the fact that we did a no showing at the Olympics.
Well, he knows what he did.
Yes.
Because he promoted boxing in Ghana for years. So you see, when you wake up and then Ghanaians, we are known for boxing. We are not known for boxing.
No.
Somebody
put the effort in.
puts the effort into it.
Yeah.
So now Ambassador Kwaku is old now. Who is replacing him? Policy direction. Look, the cluelessness and the ignorance is too much in this country. We are going down with what you refer to this one, the areas of the low-hanging fruits, where you don't need an investor. We need an investor to come and teach kids how to play football. You need an investor to teach arts and culture. We need an investor to come and tell us that we need to package our cultural festivals properly for the world to come and watch. What are we saying? So every effort we need an investor? No. We are undoing everything that we have secured in the last 10 decades. And we are just sitting here happy, putting powder on our face and shouting in parliament, and that's all. So this Nkrumah founder thing is a complete waste of time, everybody's time, including the time of the president. So if you have a problem with the timing of or how the debate was triggered, I agree with you. But it does not take the fact of that it's not one person that founded Ghana. I don't even know why people want to bully their way with it, one person thing. Which country in the world has only one person as a founder? Are you Christopher Columbus?
Even that.
Even that.
So somebody discovered the compass. Somebody discovered the compass. Somebody built the ship.
Let's concentrate on more important things. Me, that's one.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we're back, there's more conversations right here on the News Review segment of Breakfast Daily.